Hey guys, it's Lexi. I am doing my chop and chat today. I unfortunately had a little bit of trouble with this chop and chat. I already went through and did the majority of chopping for my multiple Christmas themed melting baskets that I had. And that video, I realized as I was chopping, I did like a very direct chop, like front top down kind of a thing for the chopping, and my hand was covering the entire process. So the entire video that I already filmed, you could not see anything. That was my bad for not checking it before I started and like waiting until I was uploading the video to be like, oh, I messed up. So here we are again. We are definitely beyond Christmas, and I know there are some Christmas kind of inspired questions here, so I do apologize for that. I really wish that video came out better, but then the timing of just the Christmas rush and, family get-togethers and friend get-togethers and all of the other things that come with life kind of got in the way of me being able to chop more wax and film this chop and chat to get it up before Christmas. So apologies, I'm so sorry, you guys. But we're here today, and I do have some wax that I didn't reach for and didn't chop. These were majority the wax melts that were a part of like the second video that I did for my Christmas melting basket, which was all of like the movie and music type Christmas inspired scents. So I do have a few things here to chop. So I think like 7 or 8 things here ish. So we'll work on these. It's not going to be a huge chop and chat like the last one was, but it'll just be a little video where I'll answer the questions. I am so grateful for you guys for giving me all of these questions and things to kind of talk about. I said in the last video that I was like, it's really funny when you do these chop and chats. You have to chop the wax because you have to melt the wax, but sometimes I just sit home and chop and like watch TV. But it is nice to like be able to kind of talk to you guys on a more casual type of thing rather than just being like, okay, here's the wax melt, here's what I melted, it did good or bad or whatever, and then doing hauls, which is like primarily what I do. So these chop and chats are nice to kind of like talk about other things. So let me start with what I am chopping first. This is Edward's Christmas Wish from Brita's Creepy Treasures. It's Christmas wreath, spiced cranberry, and patchouli. I am really excited to melt this. Brita's wax is so soft that I don't need to microwave this at all, and it's just a little piece. So I'll just get to chopping this. And the first question that I have here is from April Marie Plans. And I have her question is, are you doing a low/no buy? How have you been doing on using up old wax? And how do you deal with FOMO when everyone else is hauling wax? So thank you so much for the question. I really appreciate that. Am I doing a low/no buy? I am not sure. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily give myself the title of like I'm on a low buy or I'm on a no buy. I'm definitely not gonna force myself to do a no buy. I did, however, do a low buy last year from January until June, and that was a very long 6-month low buy, and it did help. So I guess if I were to do anything, I'll give myself like a kind of like a low bias. I don't think I'm going to put a title on it this year. I don't think I'm going to give myself rules this year. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of be more conscious of what I'm spending my money on. And yeah, I guess just try to be a little bit more conscious. I'm not going to limit myself as much as I did last year because I did find that, sorry, that was a cat's feeder going off. I did find last year when I was doing the low buy that after the low buy was up, I ended up going crazy because I was like, oh, my low buy's up, I can go a little loopy. The low buy did help, but I found that afterwards it was almost like I don't know, I almost was like, well, I went so crazy after that it was like, was it even worth it? So what I'm going to do instead is just try to keep myself more accountable of like, okay, I just hauled wax from one vendor this month. Maybe I should wait till next month to haul something else. Or the other thing is just really monitoring my space. And I was really, really good last year about using up a lot of wax. So that has been going really, really well for me. I've been really on top of using up old wax. This next shape, which I'll share, this is from Zape. This is the night before Christmas. This is flannel sheets, fresh snow, and pine trees. So this will be really nice and easy to chop up because it's got some cute shapes and everything. But yeah, so my using up of wax has been going really well for me. I did recently just go through my collection again, and I actually sorted things out by vendor, and I moved all of so I kind of reorganized the area that's not like off-season wax. If you guys have watched my collection like and storage video, I kind of reorganized the area now that the like fall, Halloween, and Christmas is over. I kind of pulled out all of the like spring and summer wax and just like the general stuff and sorted it by vendor and moved all of the oldest by vendor wax up to the top of my storage area. So that's going to help me be more accountable about pulling older wax first. So that's going to be really helpful. But overall, I have been really good at trying to use up my older wax first. So that's been really good. And then how do I deal with FOMO when everyone else is hauling wax? So I think one thing that actually helps a lot is just knowing that since I've been melting wax, I've been in this kind of wax world here it's almost been 5 years, I think. So I've been enjoying this for a while. And I've been fortunate enough to like over the years kind of learn the things that I do and don't like. And because of that, I think FOMO is a little bit easier because I know if somebody's hauling a scent that's like, this is a zucchini bread or a salty sea air scent, and it's like popping off, it's getting really popular and everybody's talking about it. I know myself enough to know that I don't like zucchini bread and I don't really like salty sea air or certain scents. So that's not to say that I will never like feel like, oh, maybe I will try this. I might, but it's not something where I'm going to be like, oh, everybody's talking about how much I like it. Let me go ahead and order that scent in a loaf. Like that's another thing that I try not to do is, especially if it's like a newer vendor, is I try not to order loaves or large quantities of scent unless it's something that I've tried, I've melted, I know it performs good in my home. Occasionally I will do that, but if it's a scent that I feel like I've melted a lot from that vendor, or I have something kind of along the lines of like, I know the scent notes have performed well from that vendor in my home. Things like that. I know it sounds really confusing. In my head it makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, I try to just know myself enough to know when I feel like hype is something that I could actually buy into, like it's like a scent preference that I do like, versus just like hype around a scent that I feel like I'm like, okay, I know myself enough to know that I probably wouldn't like that. That's not, I completely think that fear of missing out is like, I know it's a real thing because I've had it, but I also like try to be like, okay, realistically, do I need this also? So that kind of helps me. But yeah, it's hard. It is hard. That's kind of the thing about like this whole community is like all of the, YouTubers and the people that share hauls on Facebook and stuff. It does make you kind of want to jump in and get things that maybe you necessarily might not have on your own, which can be really good and can be sometimes like bad because you can get things that maybe you're like, okay, this isn't necessarily for me. So it's a balance, and I try to just work on that balance and just first go with my gut and be like, trust my gut. Do I think I actually would like this, or is it just hype around it? So that helps me a lot. thank you so much for that question. I don't know. Will I do like a stamp, like low buy? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I have a lot going on right now in my personal life that I'm gonna have to try to save money for. So I think that those things will try to kind of take priority in my life over buying wax this year, which is really exciting. I will mention it quickly that over this holiday season, Tom did propose, so I've got a wedding to plan now. So I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with my spending habits this year. It's probably going to be generally like a low buy without even having to forcefully call it a low buy, just like on its own. So so thank you so much for that question. The next question I have is from SunnyDay89170, and they asked me, any new to you vendors that you want to try in 2024? That was her first question, so let me think about that while I'm showing you guys. This is Zape's Yuletide Carols. I've been using this scent in body care recently, and this is the best. This is like one of my all-time favorite Christmas scents. I love it so much. The notes are winter fir trees and sweet vanilla bean. It is a phenomenal scent. So any new to me vendors that I want to try in 2024? So there are 2 vendors that I can think of off the top of my head that I know a lot of the fellow YouTubers have been hauling, and that is Lavender and Speckles. That's a big one. And I did just try Harper James. I did just try Knowles Farm Scents, but there's another one I'm thinking of. Lavender and Speckles, and it's something about a street, I think. Oh man, you guys are probably yelling it at the screen at me. It's a street name, I think. I know Lavender and Speckles is named after chickens. I think the owner's chickens. But then there's another one that's like the name of like a street. Oh man. The thought is escaping me now. If you know it, comment it. I'm sure that it will come to me. But yeah, those are the 2 that I can think of off the top of my head, that there's a lot of people that are hauling those vendors and really seeming to enjoy those vendors. And then this previous year, 2 new to me vendors that I tried were or have been melting, or haven't melted the Knowles Farm Scents yet, but I am currently working on melting a lot of my Harper James, and that's been very nice so far. So man, what is the name of that other vendor? It is going to drive me crazy. Let me look it up. Oh, Second and Spruce. That's it. Second and Spruce. That's the one other people have been talking about a lot. So those are the 2 that Lavender and Speckles and Second and Spruce are 2 that I'll possibly look into hauling from this year. So yes. And then what was the other question? Man, my brain is like foggy today. Okay, so the next question I have is favorite vendor of 2023. That's really hard. I've been kind of melting, if you guys have watched me for any amount of time. I feel like I watched melt the same vendors over and over, which is why I tried to try 2 new vendors this year to try to branch out a little bit more. Tried and true vendors for me, I guess general favorites, because I did do a favorite vendor top five scent video, are like Rose Girls. I've been loving Rose Girls for a long time. Zape, I've been loving Zape for a long time. The Bathing Garden I love. British Creepy Treasures I love. British Creepy Treasures has been like really standing out on the bakery this last year. That's been great. And then some other vendors that I've been loving this year. I did just do a very small haul from K's, which I've been buying from K's for a while, but that haul I'll have to share. I've smelled everything already. There's a lot of really good scents in that haul. So that's another great one. But yeah, I mean, I have so many favorites. If you watch my melting baskets, you kind of see like Salt Mountain Melt. That's been a favorite for years. One of the first vendors I ever bought from. So yeah, all really great vendors. Do I have a favorite melt or blend that you never want to run out of? Heat Wave from Salt Mountain Melts is a scent that I would never want to run out of for summer. That's like a strawberry, raspberry, guava, and margarita. And then also from Salt Mountain Melts, her Circus Animal Stuffed Sugar Cookies is an amazing one. Tinseltown from Zape for the Christmas season. I'll have to like tag my little like top 5 scents or like top scent video for you to check out, because those are my favorites of all time, like hands down. But yeah, I'm excited to try some new vendors this year and see what other kind of favorites I can find. So yeah, thank you so much for those questions. I really appreciate those so much. Charity said, favorite memory with my pets. That's such a sweet comment. I love that question. This, by the way, this is Zape's Hansel and Gretel's House. It's gingerbread, graham crackers, and vanilla frosting. The scent I am so excited to melt, because I remember loving this a couple years ago when I melted it. Favorite memory with my pets. I would say one of my favorite memories is just when we got our pet. So we got Jade from the Humane Society, and a friend of mine who worked there, she actually was like, oh, do you want this cat? She's really sweet. I'm fostering her. And I remember the day we went and picked up Jade, she immediately jumped onto Tom's shoulder, and I was like, well, that's Tom's cat. She's bonded to him. But that's like a really sweet memory that I'll never forget and always like really love. And then when we found Theo, we found him on the side of the road, and that was a memory that definitely is stuck in my brain of like a memory of just like the second I saw him on the side of the road, I was like, well, I know he's going to be mine forever. So that's another sweet memory. And then also when we got Dwight for the first time and I saw him and he jumped right up on me and started giving me kisses, that is another memory where like, yeah, that's one of my favorite memories of all time, just because it was such a happy, pure, beautiful memory of us together. And yeah, it just like felt like our souls found each other, and it was just like really beautiful. So yeah, I would say all the time I spend with my pets, I cherish so much. All the time I spend with anybody, my friends, my family, I try to really soak in every second, because that's what life's about. It's just like the connections that you make. So I really love my animals and really love my family. It's truly something that I do not take for granted. This scent here is White Christmas. Thank you so much, Charity, for that beautiful question. I really love it. This scent here is White Christmas. This is Fir Trees, Balsam, and Dreaming of a ... This is such a beautiful classic Christmas tree scent. I absolutely love it. The next person that asked me a question, I have the username is XIZHOUXIE6192. I don't want to mess that name up. The questions that I have are Christmas related. So like I said, I'm sorry we're past Christmas now. But I have favorite Christmas dessert, favorite Christmas movie, and shows that you've been watching lately. So my favorite Christmas dessert is I really enjoy my cookies that I make with my mom, which also links to another question that was here, which I'll answer in a second. But favorite Christmas dessert is my pistachio cookies that I make with my mom every year. Those are phenomenal. They're just like a pudding type of like cream cheese cookie. They're so good. And then favorite Christmas movie, I just watched The Polar Express, and that was really nice. I really enjoyed that movie. It's got a wholesome message. I also really like Elf, but I would say if I had to pick like an all-time favorite Christmas movie, I'm like I go back to like my childhood, and I really enjoy the Christmas classic claymation. So like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, A Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph, that one, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's like one of my favorites. Those are all so good. I love Heat Miser, Snow Miser. Those are my favorite types of Christmas movies. But I really enjoy all Christmas movies. They're always fun. They get you in the spirit, which is nice. And then shows I've been watching lately. The only thing I've been watching lately is Below Deck. I watch all of the seasons. I'm absolutely hooked on it. Actually, no, let me rewind here. I just started Desperate Housewives from the first season, and I just knocked out the first season a couple days ago. So I've been loving Desperate Housewives. That one is awesome too. So Below Deck, which is about like people that work on like yachts, mega yachts, and then Desperate Housewives. I'm sure everybody kind of knows that show by now, right? It's pretty popular, but that one's about what you would think. It's about a bunch of housewives, which I love. It's great. It's a great show. So those are two that I've been kind of drawn into lately. And Tom loves Below Deck too, which is really fun. We watch it at night together. Let's see. So the next one I have here is Holiday at Gatsby's from Zape. This is sophisticated pine, hints of tonka bean, and bubbly citrus. So the next question I have here is from Lissa Marjorie 12. She said, what are some memorable Christmas traditions that you have in your family? In my family, we open one present on Christmas Eve, so I would say that's mine. Thank you so much for that question. I kind of mentioned the Christmas cookie thing earlier, and that is 100% one of my traditions that I have formed with my mom over the years. I am so grateful that we have kind of made that tradition together. It's something that I really look forward to every year, spending time with my mom, and we always get to have nice conversations and just really bond. And it's something that I know in the future I will be able to hopefully keep that tradition going with. Maybe if I have a daughter or whoever, I can hopefully keep that tradition going forever, and hopefully they keep that tradition going, and it's just something that's like really special to me. And I really value that time with my mom, and she's an amazing baker. My mom she's probably watching right now. Hi Mom, if you're watching. She watches all my videos, but she's really an amazing baker, and everybody talks about how much they love her desserts and everything. So she's been teaching me her tricks of the trade and everything, and it's something that I really, really value. So that is my favorite Christmas tradition that I have kind of more recently in the past, I don't know, we've been probably doing it for the past maybe 6 years now, maybe I don't know, probably at least 5, maybe 6, maybe more. Actually, can't even think. Probably 5 or 6 years. So yeah, I absolutely love that tradition with my mom, and it's really, really special. So that's a great one. And then what was the other? I'm so sorry. The other thing was, oh no, that was it. Yeah, so that's definitely my special tradition. I love that you open a present on Christmas Eve. I actually did that with my nephews this year, and I really, really like that. I think that I might take that tradition from you if you don't mind, because I really thought that was fun to open it with my nephews a day early. They got to play with that toy and everything, so that was fun. This next scent here is Holy Night from Salt Mountain Melts. And it is vanilla birch, blackberry, and palo santo. This might be a little harder to chop, and it might be a little messy, but we're just going to go with that because I need to get this chopped. The last question I have here is from Molly McKee 4109, and she said, this might be a strange question, but do you pair certain wax scents with certain meals? I was melting a lovely and strong scent the other day, but when I made dinner, I had to shut off my warmers because it clashed so badly. It may have been just my nose in the moment. I know people talk about special scents they warm on holidays, so I was wondering if pairing with everyday meals was a thing. Thank you. That is a very interesting question. And I personally do my melting basket, so I don't, if there's a certain scent that I feel like maybe kind of goes with something in a melting basket, I'll pull that scent out. And I guess I just try to kind of go with what I have in my melting basket. I will say this, Tom and I rarely eat fish. We actually did just have fish last night, but we rarely eat fish. And that's a scent that kind of tends to like stink up a home with a very pungent odor. I don't know if I said odor that way. So fish is something that when I melt fish, I try to melt a lemon or a citrus with it if I can. But generally I haven't had that experience. I'm really sorry you've had that experience. That's such a bummer. I'm really sorry you had to like waste a wax melt. That's at least what it feels like right in your head, maybe, or my head. It sounds like that. But, yeah, I haven't found that to be the case for me, but it definitely could happen. And when it does, I'll think about you and I'll think, man, I really should have thought about this ahead of time. But yeah, if anybody else does that's watching, if anybody's had a similar experience, please share it. I would be very curious to know, because I'm sure it's not uncommon, it just hasn't happened to me yet. So I'm grateful it hasn't, because that would be a bummer. And then the last thing I have here is Christmas tree cakes. This is from Salt Mountain Melts. It is white cake, yellow cake, buttercream, and marshmallow and sprinkles. This is the last thing I have to melt, and I don't have any other questions. So I want to say again, thank you so much to everybody who left a question. I really appreciate you guys giving me something to talk about here and taking the time to do that. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody, if you celebrated, had a nice Christmas, or hope you have a nice New Year when it's coming up. I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch these videos, because I'm sure there are 100 other things, especially this time of year, that you could be doing. But taking the time to watch my video is something that I just really do appreciate you guys doing. So, man, this Salt Mountain Melts thing little wax melt is very soft and easy to cut. So she must have reformulated again, or maybe this last one was from last year. Oh yeah, this was from 2022. That's why. Wow, that's like butter soft. I love that. So I cannot wait to melt these. And yeah, so if you guys, my melting basket for next month is going to be bananas. I already pulled it. It's actually been sitting. It's one thing that I haven't shared in my, it was one of the wax melt like cubes that I didn't share in my last like storage video and my collection video. So that's going to be all since you haven't seen from that video, but I've been holding on to that melting basket, and it's hilarious because it's a theme that actually makes sense now, even more now that I'm engaged. So it's going to work out really well, and that's going to be next month. So I'll have more stuff to chop. So if anybody has any questions about anything, I'm an open book. It's fun to talk to you guys. I'll do another chop and chat next month because I'll have to, because I have a ton of Teddy Bees to go through for my next month's melting basket. But yeah, I so appreciate you guys taking the time. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.